I'm very proud to tell you guys this video is going to be brought to you by Gfuel, and right now they have a brand new Kaiju number 8 energy formula. You guys know, if you've been keeping up with my videos on my other channel, I love Kaiju number 8. I am extremely proud to say that I've tried this one out. This energy formula of the Kiwi Berry Blitz is absolutely insane, and you get that energy formula itself. There's just enough caffeine in the energy formula itself to get your day started. Another huge plus is the fact that there's zero crash when you use it, so you ain't got to worry about being Konohamaru and not being able to perform because you ain't got the energy. Also, you get all the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that are going to get your day going, and best of all, there's zero sugar, which is a huge plus to me. You guys know that running multiple YouTube channels, it's not an easy thing to do. And so I do time to time need an energy drink to pick me up. And so I go with Gfuel because it's a lot healthier than some of the energy drinks that are out there. Use my promo code KAGE in order to get your discount. When you click on my affiliate link down in the description box, you can purchase the Kaiju number 8 box as well as any other anime themed Gfuel products that strike your fancy. Doing so really helps support the channel. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex update, and today we have more official spoilers coming to us from the official Naruto website, which has released another set of panels to get the fandom hype for the upcoming manga chapter that will be out in less than 2 days. If we get raw scans tonight or tomorrow morning, then I will do a full spoiler video. If not, the chapter review will be out around 48 to 72 hours after the chapter drops, because my editor's gonna need some time to get the review done, so I thank you in advance for your patience. Lastly, I addressed this on Twitter, but I've already seen it in the comment section of videos, and anyone who is thinking that the upcoming chapter is an 80-page manga chapter, lower your expectations. The 80-page number that people are referencing is the number of pages from the forum where we usually get text leaks about the manga chapters in the past, because the official teaser Himawari doing a Bijudama got that crazy of a response that it got 80 pages in the forum thread itself. V-Jump titles, they typically only have 35 to 45 pages per chapter. Very rarely do we ever get a 50 to 60 page chapter, let alone the max for what a monthly manga typically allows for. So something like you would see in Jump Square, the other monthly magazine that Shonen Jump has. So I wanted to clear that up due to all the DMs and emails I've been getting, because I don't want people getting disappointed when this isn't an 80-page chapter. So over on the official Naruto website, we have a set of panels that have been released to tap into what's going on with Sarada and Konohamaru and Class Rep in their battle. And this one, the timing is pretty well done. We have Konohamaru fighting against Hidari one day after I get artwork commission of Hidari carrying Konohamaru in a trash can, while Sarada and Class Rep are looking on in shock at Konohamaru being trashed. However, rejoice Konohamaru fans, it's not actually all that bad when you look at the panels themselves. In fact, Konohamaru fans, they should be very proud of the fact that the guy is still alive. And I'm not even saying this to joke or to throw backhanded shots at the character, because Hidari, based on the panel, has already started killing people in the chapter, and Konohamaru is still alive, so W for Konohamaru. In the upper corner, we see one of the Chunin who were following Konohamaru into the battle is burning alive from what looks like a fire release jutsu, which makes a lot of sense. Hidari is a clone of Sasuke, so it makes sense he can perform the Chidori. So too can he also perform the Uchiha clan's hidden jutsu, the Great Fireball Jutsu. Now, we don't know who the Chunin in question is. We can only hope it is Nishi, but when you look at the figure that's being burned, he's a few pounds too light for Nishi, which either means it's a Chunin like the one who confronted Ishiki in the manga and managed to live, or that fire release jutsu just managed to burn off 300 pounds of blubber on Nishi's chunky body before he began to kill him. In the panel that we're seeing, we see Konohamaru, he's attempting to attack Hidari with the Rasengan, but lo and behold, Konohamaru is just a little bit too slow in order to hit him. Before the Rasengan can connect on the back of his head, Hidari teleports to the claw mark behind Konohamaru, and it leaves him open for attack. And here is where I want to address something that I've seen people online already using, trying to drag Konohamaru here, blowing it all up out of proportion. People are saying, why didn't Konohamaru use a long range projectile ninjutsu like a fireball jutsu or a lightning release jutsu or wind release jutsu, why is he trying to use a Rasengan? That doesn't make any sense. So there are a few reasons why he used the Rasengan. If you slow down here, take out your emotions as a Konohamaru fan and look at the panels and the situational awareness. One of the people who he's leading is being burned alive by what appears to be a freshly fired off jutsu. Hidari is literally standing in front of a guy who is maybe 10 to 20 feet away from him. If Konohamaru shoots off a projectile jutsu and Hidari does exactly what he just did, which is not stand there like a dummy and get hit by the attack, not stand there out of fascination the way that Jura did when Shikadai used the Nar clan's hidden jutsu on him to restrain him. That tuning underneath Konohamaru's command, on top of getting burned alive, is also being hit by another attack. If it's wind release, the flames, they grow even hotter and they likely spread, and they're fighting inside the village. You don't want that. If it's a lightning release jutsu, he just takes a ton more damage on top of that. If it's a fire release jutsu, then Konohamaru gets a freshly fried up tuning, extra crispy, to take it back to Shikamaru, who, due to the budget cuts by the feudal lord, as we were told in part 1 of the story, is going to ask why didn't you just reduce them to ashes, since cremation is cheaper than a funeral. Those are Konohamaru's 3 changes in chakra nature: wind release, fire release, and lightning release. Nothing suggests he added water release during the 3-year time skip, and earth release would be pretty much pointless here. His best option was to use the Rasengan, which ironically would do more damage than any of those change in chakra nature attacks, even the great dragon flame jutsu, since the Rasengan is a compressed chakra that is the pinnacle of change in chakra shape and will do more damage than any of those jutsu. Now, the other thing here is that it's commendable that Konohamaru is still running the table and jumping headfirst into battles against stronger enemies despite the power gap, and it's out of his sense of duty to the village. He fought Kashin Koji and he got packed up. He fought against Jigen in the anime and he got packed up, and before Jigen sent him chakra rods on express delivery, he asked him, was this the best that a Konoha Jonin could do? He fought Ishiki in the anime, and the only one on the team that survived Ishiki's attack was him, despite Konohamaru leading the charge and having the least amount of time than anyone out that group to react to Ishiki's attack. Konohamaru is a lot of things, but one thing he isn't is a coward. That boy has heart at the age of 32 years old, which is a reminder we're 19 years removed from the end of Naruto Shippuden. Clarifying that because I still have people who think that Konohamaru's in his 20s when he isn't. The other interesting thing here is that we're seeing more of Hidari's fighting style being put on full display here. We talked about it in the chapter review last month. Him placing those claw marks in the way that he does, it allows him to either attack from the front of somebody, or from the behind of somebody, or from the behind of the person that's standing behind that person. Any strategy fighting Hidari is going to have a similar method than what you did when you went against Hidan, where you just can't allow Hidan to get into that weird Jashin symbol before he ingests your blood, or rather after he ingests your blood. You're going to have to watch your feet to make sure you aren't too close to those claw marks, especially since the only known way we know of that disposes of them is Kawaki's Kokugan Dojutsu, the Sukuna Hikona. The last set of panels shows Konohamaru missing on his Rasengan and turning around as Hidari is preparing to use a Chidori to impale him from behind. Whether or not this is the end of Konohamaru's Sarutobi, we'll have to wait to see, which is the point of the teaser, is to generate hype and interest from within the fandom for the chapter itself. Now, there's a few more things that we can take away from this chapter preview, which is that what in the world happened that led to Hidari seemingly killing or attempting to kill the Chunin who was with Konohamaru. The last we saw Hidari, the dude was pretty much on site in terms of the approach he took to Sarada. No hesitation, it was a green light, he went right for. However, we don't see anything like that here. So naturally, your first question is asked, what happened to Sarada? Was Sarada unexpectedly taken out by Hidari? Is she now part of the tree club like Sasuke? We can't be sure right now, but that's a really good hook to get you invested. The other thing we have to ask is what happened to Class Rep? And she's going to be my dark horse character for this chapter, especially now that we see there's a guy who's being set on fire. While Sarada doesn't have water release, she has the same 3 changes in chakra nature that Konohamaru has: wind release, fire release, and lightning release. Class Rep is right there to do something for the guy who's being burned alive, since she has water release to put those flames out, since there's too much fire to do a traditional stop, drop, and roll method. I like what we're getting here from the Hidari versus Konohamaru panel. we get a chance to potentially see if the death of Naruto was enough for Konohamaru's balls to finally drop, and see if it leads to him seeking out more power to try and grow stronger, because his longtime rival is dead in his mind and the village it is now vulnerable. As Boruto stated, when the reality finally hit him and he accepted that his father no longer had Kurama, his father was no longer the best person to protect the village, he said that shinobi during times like this, they trained in order to meet the moment as best they could, and this is that moment for Konohamaru to do so. Whether or not he sinks or swim, it's going to be all on him. While I am more inclined to say that this is going to be another case of Konohamaru getting screwed because he happens to be fighting someone several tiers higher than him, I'm going to hold out hope that the guy took some chakra steroids, did some push-ups, sit-ups, drank plenty of juice, and managed to get some kind of gains, because he is technically in his prime right now. He's still a few years away from peaking. There's still some room to grow for his character before he hits his ceiling. Whether or not he's past the power of his 69-year-old grandfather who fought against Orochimaru and the two Edo Tensei Hokage, and was still considered to be the strongest of the 5 Kage during part 1 of Naruto, that remains to be seen, let alone the power of Prime Hiruzen, who is stated to have surpassed every Hokage before him in power. I think we're going to be in for a pretty good chapter here, just given everything that we've seen here. It looks like it'll be more than just Himawari getting her chance to shine and Sarada. This might be more of a well-rounded chapter where we get to see some of the other characters very briefly show what they can do before the stage is set for the people who are really going to be throwing down. The main attractions are obviously going to be Himawari versus Jura and Sarada versus Hidari. The official V-Jump teaser that was released earlier this month said that the battle with the Shinji was heating up, and we see it based on these 2 promo leaks, but it specifically said that Sarada was up to something. So my guess is that we're going to be getting something pretty decent with Sarada, since she's not being used in either of these teasers. Again, the official release will be out on the 20th, so 2 days from when you're seeing this video. If we get the full raw scans tonight or tomorrow, I'll have a spoiler video out. If not, expect a review sometime this weekend, because my editor is going to need some time to get that chapter review done, since we don't have these usual 72-hour head start that we normally have. If you haven't already checked out that big 2.5-hour Boruto video, make sure to click this link to the left and make sure to share it if you have seen it and enjoyed it. Or if you want to learn more about the villain of Kaiju number 8, my Kaiju number 9 video essay from Anime Explained is up on the channel here.